Square calling squares.
You don't know if Channing Crowder is a square.
What is a square? In a room full of square all you squares.
What I'm telling you is, how do you know he is square?
All y'all is squares.
How do you figure that?
How not? What are you talking about?
You lost me. Explain what's your definition of square?
Cause I'm a street nigga. I'm from the track.
How you know he not? Answering my question.
Because you can't have no felonies. You can't catch no charges.
To play football?
Shit. Yes. It's certain shit you can't even do to be a football player. You gotta have a certain grade point average to even play college football. All these is squares.
It's my go. Tell me when you're gonna stop screaming.
All these niggas, no, cause I don't like that. How is a square calling a
You don't know. He might be a square, but you don't know if he is or he's not.
I do.
You don't know that.
You don't know. The podcast all day, like the rest of you.
He's 40-something years old.
So is the rest of us in here.
You got people trying to kill you in Jersey, so you gotta be tinted. I get it.
Always the niggas that ain't into nothing, into nothing.
I'm not. I'm a rapper.
That's
I'm
what
not
I'm saying.
into nothing.
That one is true. That's the God's honest truth on my mind. I know you, nigga. I've watched you since I was 19 years old, nigga. You can't be through nothing I've been through, nigga. Nothing. No shootings, no either side of the gun, nigga. None of that shit, nigga. You done got shot 5 times. Your bitch has to be dead. Why? Cause you're a sweetheart, nigga. You a sweet, ain't got nothing to do with no stitches, ain't got nothing to do with no saline, and ain't a million stitches that could stitch up heart, nigga. I got myself to the hospital, nigga. If you would've got shot where I got shot at, your bitch ass would've died, nigga. I got myself to the hospital. You're a fucking sweetheart. You run around here acting like you wild. You not wild, nigga. Your daddy was wild. You a fucking rapper, like you said, nigga.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the 4 winds. In the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, in those videos I just played, before this lesson, all right, is from, a popular, battle rapper. This guy, Sue Surf, okay, and as you can see, he's very, emotional, when it comes to defending, all right, nigga culture, okay, which is, all right, the most counterproductive, okay, self-destructive culture that it is, all right, and there's nothing but a micro version, okay, of Edomite culture, okay, because as we know, Esau's nature, is the violent man. He's unreasonable. He's a degenerate, all right, he's ignoble, all right, the opposite of noble, you see, and he has social engineered, Jake to be a micro version of himself, okay, and that's why, whenever, there's a lot of pressure on Esau Edom, he's able to turn the camera on niggas, okay, a group of niggas like that, and say, this is the problem. Now, these niggas are a problem, all right, and nigga culture is the dumbest, all right, culture that exists, okay, and as you can see, niggas defend their own self-destruction, okay, and as you can see, the generational nigga culture is so toxic, all right, if you don't steal from your people, if you don't kill your people, okay, if you don't, brag about adultery, then they consider you a square, which in nigga culture, that's an insult, okay, and you see how, the mental illness, okay, because there's millions of our people that feel this way, that will agree with a nigga like that, and they feel that if you ain't out here catching felonies, okay, if you're not going to prison, if you're not being shot up, okay, like damn, I gotta shoot niggas and get shot, to be down. You see, and that never sit right with me as normal, but I digress, man. But you see the mental illness that's on Jake, to where they think it's a privilege to catch felonies, a privilege to go to prison, a privilege, okay, to shoot at niggas or get shot. That's an honorable thing. Okay? That's a thing of honor. That's a badge of honor amongst our people. You know, and that's a mental illness our people have within this current captivity, man. That degeneracy, all right, is the most honorable thing amongst our people. Okay? Now, I want to read this, Jeremiah 2:21. I looked at something in the chat. It says, Jeremiah 2:21 said, "Yet I planted thee a noble vine, holy, a right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?" You know? And whenever we as a people begin to follow after the heathens, we will become degenerate. Okay? Because during this time in the book of Jeremiah, all right, the southern kingdom had began to follow idols. Okay? Began to worship idols, and then worshiping those idols came with lifestyles. Okay? And those lifestyles were degenerate. Because the Lord planted us a noble vine. Okay? When he established us as a people, what did he give us? Law, which was our wisdom in the midst of the nations. Okay? That law made us separate, it made us highborn. It made us a people of nobility. It made us a people of integrity, righteousness, equity. Okay? But when we would follow after the heathens, we would degenerate. Okay? And the latest example, is our people, follow a culture that was social engineered to them by their enemy, Esau, Edom. Okay? You see a degenerate culture with a degenerate mindset to where they defend their own self-destruction. They glorify and they boast in destroying themselves. Okay? Degeneracy is honorable. When you read this in Jeremiah 2:21, it says, But I was the one who planted you, choosing a vine of the purest stock, the very best. How did you grow into this corrupt, wild vine, man? Okay, and the latest example of this, because we would do this, time and time, throughout our, history, following these heathens and becoming degenerate, becoming corrupt, becoming wild, becoming estranged from, the structure, the law, the wisdom, the order, the righteousness we was given by, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Okay, and the latest example is what we see now. In those two videos sum up the thinking of a lot of our people. Okay, that glorifies, the worst culture on earth, the most destructive and counterproductive culture on earth. Okay, so when you I want to go here because I looked it up, dealing with social engineering. All right, so I asked the chat. I said, could social engineering be used to make degeneracy look like honor? It says yes. Social engineering can be used to make degeneracy appear honorable. And this has happened many times in history and modern society. Social engineering is a deliberate shaping of people's beliefs, values, and behavior through messaging, culture, education, media, and social pressure, man. And that's one of the main things, especially, you're a young Jake coming up, amongst other Jake, there's this peer pressure to be a degenerate, because the women like these wild niggas, the wild niggas are the most respected. Okay, these wild, destructive niggas are the most, respected. And okay, so you coming up, especially you in a situation in survival, you got to adapt. It's just a very unnatural way to live. But through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man, you have a remnant that will come through that. Brothers come from, all walks of life. Some brothers are exposed to that more than others. Okay, some brothers have to deal with their reality more than others. Okay, but that's why this truth is a place where we all, rehabilitate from whatever, darkness we come from. Okay, but we have to understand this was social engineering by the enemy that had our people thinking like this, man. Okay, it says what degeneracy made. I said what? It said degeneracy made to look like honor means. It says in this context, it means behavior once considered harmful, shameful, or destructive are reframed as virtuous, progressive, brave, or morally superior. because he's talking from a mindset like he's superior than Jake that just, because he was talking about athletes, you got to have a certain GPA and you can't catch no felonies and you want to survive what I survived. And, okay, so he's speaking as if he's superior. Jake that went to prison, okay, they talk to Jakes that went to prison as if they're superior. Okay, Jake that come from the street culture and his gang culture, they talk to Jake that haven't been from that culture, okay, as if they're superior. Okay, so they look at, Jakes as athletes or just regular, working class men. Okay, or they call them square, which is insults in nigga culture. Okay, and if they're superior. And that's how, the community treats these niggas as if they're superior, man. Okay, and that's why us coming up, we wanted to imitate these niggas because they had the superior treatment. That's why Jake wouldn't want to mimic his father, who was a electrician or construction worker or whatever, a working class Jake. He wanted to imitate what the community looked at as superior, which was degeneracy, man. Okay, like it's progressive. Like, look, this is superior. We're progressing past just being, what they call a square, someone who just works and pays bills and just a father figure. No, we progressing past that. We street niggas. We real niggas. We trap boys. That's progressing past being a responsible father, a responsible husband. We're progressing past that. Okay, it's more virtuous to be out here being a street nigga. That's more virtuous, selling this dope, getting this money. You got the women, got this, the hood celebrity. That's more virtuous. That's brave. You see? And it says this doesn't happen accidentally. It often follows a pattern. It said tools of social engineering that can reshape morality. Language manipulation, changing words, changes perception. Examples of vice is self-expression. Immorality is freedom. Disorder is diversity. Excess is authenticity. Rebellion against norms is courage. Okay? So going back to these enchantments, these devils, he changed the words. He knows how to dress up rebellion. Okay? As if it's something good. If it's courage. You got the courage to rebel against order and structure and righteousness. Okay? You got the courage to go do what you want to do. You're not subjugated to rules, and you just got the courage to just do what you want to do. Okay? That bad boy persona, they just out here living life, doing what they want to do. They not confined to rules like everyone else. You see, a thug, he out here doing what he want to do. He not bound to no rules. He out here doing what he want to do. That's courageous. Okay? The hot girl, she just out here doing what she want to do. Going on trips, getting this and that, and got tricks and got niggas doing this, and she not confined to no rules, man. She's just courageous. Okay? She's superior than the wife, because she's out here, making moves, doing a thing. She's not confined to any type of structure. Okay? And it says, when language changes, moral judgment changes. It says media entertainment. Movies, music, and influencers normalize behaviors by making destructive characters look heroic or glamorous, man. Okay? Making destructive characters look heroic or glamorous, man. Scarface. Okay? Belly. Okay? Men in society where the degenerates are the star of the movie. And they romanticize them niggas, man. Make them niggas look heroic. Okay? And it's witchcraft, man. You see, it says portraying restraint or tradition as oppressive. You see, so if you're not a wild nigga, well, you're weak. If you're not ready to crash out at any moment, in any second, you're weak. You see? That's a nigga psyche. Okay? It says rewarding transgression with admiration, repeated exposure, normalization, moral inversion, man. Okay? So as this devil, he has put degeneracy, being honor, being a thing of honor, he put that on loop in the music, in the movies, in the media. Okay? In real life, man, these men, because what art, where life begins to imitate art. Okay, so now you see this playing out real time, and it's on repeat. It becomes the norm. Everything becomes accepted. That standard is the cultural norm now. The degeneracy is heroic. That's the cultural norm now. Okay, it says moral inversion, calling good evil and evil good. This is a classic technique. Discipline is toxic. Okay, and that's why a lot of women, they stay away from particular men, because they look at discipline. Okay, it's toxic. Okay, he's controlling this or that. Okay, and they be with these wild niggas because them niggas don't have no standards. Okay, them niggas don't care. Them niggas, they flowing in the wind. Okay, they don't have no expectation. They just out here winging it. Okay, but men that have any type of structure or expectation, he's toxic. Okay, they look at responsibility as oppression. Modesty is going backward. All right, it says in hedonism is empowerment. Okay, so responsibility is oppression. Because like I say, these niggas, that's why these niggas can go to prison, get shot up. They can go in and out of prison because ain't nobody depending on these niggas. That's why they can crash out everywhere they go. They can get into these shootouts. Okay? Ain't nobody depending on these niggas, man. They don't have no responsibility. They just existing. You see? And Esau painted these niggas as the niggas of choice. Okay, so that's why most women amongst, the tribe, especially the Southern Kingdom, by the time you meet her at the, at the Marathon gas station, okay, she done had about 10, 15 of these type of niggas, 2 or 3 or 4 are the baby daddies, okay, but then she supposed to be your everything. You supposed to deal with all the responsibility come with it. Okay, well, see, these niggas can go in and out of prison. Niggas shot. These niggas can die. Nobody missed them niggas. Okay? Them niggas can die because they don't have no responsibilities. Okay? You see, because in nigga culture, responsibility is oppression, man. These niggas just go have babies and niggas never pay bills. Niggas come home and they can lay up everywhere. Okay, why? Because amongst niggas, these niggas are superior. It's a privilege to have one of these niggas as a baby daddy. Okay, it's a privilege to have this nigga lay up around. He can always go to his mama house, auntie house, 2, 3 baby mamas. So this nigga ain't got no responsibility. Okay, so of course he can shoot it out over nothing. He can go to prison 2, 3 years, get out, go back 5 years, get out, go back, because nobody depending on this nigga, man. Okay? Of course he can die any day. Nobody's depending on this nigga, man. Okay? It says social pressure and shaming. People are trained to fear being labeled intolerant, judgmental, unenlightened, on the wrong side of history. Yeah, because, and this is why we die, to these social pressures. Okay, we die to these social peer pressure. Okay, to conform to degeneracy as a thing of honor. Okay, that's why the Lord has it to where we die to that way of thinking, man. Okay, so let's go here. Let's get some more precepts. I just wanted to get into that on the chat, man. Okay, but this just shows you how, backwards our people have gotten to where they glorify, okay, in their own destruction. So you go here to the book of Psalms, chapter 12, and verse 8. It says, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. And the vilest men, all right, is Esau, Edom. And of Esau is Amalek. Because you really go into the nature of Amalek, that's really the nature of a nigga. Like Amalek, that you know, they're destructive, you know, violent, okay, you know, they're grimy, you know, cutthroat. Like, there's really the spirit of Amalek, which they run the music industry, man. And they pray and put demons on their music, man. That's why a nigga has that spirit, like what you see the Small Hats doing it, you know, Hamas, and, you know, you see what they do to those countries over there, those weaker nations, man. They just, you know, terrorize them weaker nations. Cause see, Jake terrorized a few blocks. See, Esau, he terrorized the earth. Like those Small Hats, they over there just terrifying the region. You know, niggas do a drive-by. You know, Amalek doing airstrikes. Okay? And then they have this energy where, look, I can do what I want to people, but people better not do nothing to me. That's the spirit of Amalek. Like Amalek, I can do what I want to anybody. Okay? But nobody better not do nothing to me. And that's the spirit that's on niggas, man. Okay, so the vilest man that's exalted is Esau, man. Okay, it says, and the wicked walk on every side, because he sets the standard. The ruler sets the standard of a kingdom. Okay, you know, and they heavily social engineered, you know, through this music, man, music and movies, and now social media. So you go to the word walk, which is halak. All right, and it says to die, to live, manner of life, man. Okay, so wickedness becomes, you know, the manner of life, okay, in the society when the wicked men are exalted. Okay, you read this in verse 12 in NLT, Psalms 12 and 8. It said, even though the wicked strut about, okay, it said the wicked strut about because it's a thing of honor. Okay, be like being the street nigga, a hot girl, a jack boy, a killer, you know, whatever, a shooter, whatever these terms are. Okay, for degeneracy, you see they walk around with a strut. Okay, with a sense of pride about it. Okay, because it's honorable. You know, degeneracy is honorable in the degenerate kingdom. Okay, Esau is the top degenerate, man. Okay, so let's go here. And this is why, you know, we become dead to this world. You know, we're not affected by, you know, the social pressure to conform to degeneracy, to be accepted. You know, we're not here to be accepted by niggas. Okay, we don't need the approval of the nigga woman. Okay, or women in general, man. Okay, we're here conforming to Yahushua, and we become dead, okay, to the social engineering, okay, of Esau, Edom, man. Okay, so let's go here real quick. Let's get this in Colossians 3. I'm gonna get to the point. It's Colossians 3 and 3 in the NLT. It says, for you died to this life, and your real life is hidden with Yahushua HaMashiach in the Most High. Okay, so we become dead to this world and the expectations and the standards of this world, man. That's dead to us, man. Okay, and then we become men of responsibility, man. People are depending on us. Okay, can't be out wilding out, man. Like, people depending on us, man. Okay, now if it's the Lord's will, and you know, it's our time, man, but it ain't gonna be for foolishness, man. Okay, it ain't gonna be crashing out. Okay, the Lord, you know, the Lord called brothers home. Okay, his brothers have been called home. Okay, and those brothers leave, you know, a legacy of righteousness behind. Okay, you know, those brothers have a good report. You know, they have the report that they fought to the end. Which, hey, they fight is over, they'll be right back. You know, as immortals, man. That's what we on, man. We becoming immortals, man. We talking about ruling the earth forever with Yahushua. That's what we on, man. Okay, being cute on the podcast, man, it's played out, man. Okay? Ain't no true power in that, man. Okay? Nigga hollering like his goddamn auntie or mama. This another thing, nigga screaming. Okay? Hollering, man. Like, and Jake would tell him, like, bro, how long you gonna scream? Like, make your point. You know? But niggas only know how to express themselves like the nigga woman, man. Okay? This is Colossians 3:4. It says, and when Yahweh Shai, who is your life, is revealed to the whole world, you will share in all his glory. Okay? So we're going to be glorified with Yahweh Shai, man. Damn, having glory amongst niggas in the degenerate culture. Okay? To be praised amongst the generous, man. You had Jake that was in the truth, like Alazar. He loved the praise of the degenerate niggas, man. And you see what he on, man. Out of there, man. You know, so the Lord has us on something else, man. You know, like we chasing life, man. You know, Esau got these niggas chasing and glorifying the death. We chasing life eternal with Yahweh Shai and rulership, man. Okay? Let the dead bury the dead, man. So Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified once again. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. Peace and blessings, salutations, hopefully. Shalom.